Okay, let me see if I got it a little bit. This ain't my best angle, but I'm doing my best to make it work. Y'all see my little, it's sitting on my leg, so pray I don't move. If I got some black stuff in my teeth, man, fuck that shit. This smoothie right here, so nasty, but it's gonna do two things. It's going to fill me up, and it's gonna protect me from the COVID. It ain't even no smoothie that you can just drink down smoothly. Okay, it tastes like medicine. That's what it tastes like. Not like the like medicine when you think about like herbal medicine, I guess, because this ain't nothing but herbs and fruits and veggies and shit. Anyway, we already a minute into this video, and I'm still trying to get it straight and get my ankles right, because this thing looking all up under my chin, and I already like it like that. Can I put my knees up higher? Megan Thee Stallion knees ain't got nothing on these soon to be 35 knees. Okay, my head kind of cut off. I don't always like that because I want y'all to see my big hair don't curl. Okay, so Grand Rising, good people. Once again. Glad to show y'all my pretty face today. Oh, I'm so fine. Okay, so first things first. If y'all got a problem with me talking about how fine I am, I ain't for you. Move along. Just click off this video and miss everything I gotta say plus my pretty face. Okay. So anyway, I want to talk about how my awakening began. Begin is like a word, sparked, ignited. What really got me conscious of this journey, I would say, because I think that we're always on a journey. Consciousness of our journey is a spectrum. Yeah, so what really just snapped me out into this path of going into this journey and exploring these things, I'm going to tell y'all that today. I'm going to talk about what that meant for my journey as I have interpreted it, and I am going to ask you all stick around so that I can talk to you a little bit about a death doula. Yay. Okay, so that's what I want to talk about today. So let's start with how my awakening began. Now, I'm going to do my best to not make this story so long and drawn out, but of course I am still going to tell the story like me, because that's what I do. So anyway, it was 2012. I was pregnant with my son, and I had my daughter. She was 4 at the time, and my mom was bedridden. Her cancer had progressed, and she was, I don't know how to call it. She was dying. Her body was dying. Let me say that. Her body was dying. Her body was succumbing to the cancer and the illnesses that was taking over, and she was dying. So I had to get home very quickly because I wanted to see her before, she left. So I'm going to just go to the part where my mom passed at like 12 a.m. on a Wednesday morning, and my aunt, she came to tell me that my mom had passed. So the next day I was walking to my grandma's house, and there was a double rainbow in the sky. And I remember me and my daughter walking across the field from my auntie's house to my grandma's house, and there was a double rainbow, and nothing felt different. Nothing felt different for me, except for there was a little bit of lightness, I could say, because I remember just having that very light feeling. And fast forward to preparing for my mother's wake, for her funeral and everything like that. Me and a few of my aunts and my brothers were all sitting in the room. My brothers ended up walking out because they were just overwhelmed emotionally and they couldn't really be in the room. And then me and my aunt, we just kind of looked at each other. It was an emotionally overwhelming situation. Particularly, I would say, being pregnant. I was doing my best, and I was making the best and the most of it. Just doing my best to keep myself, amongst the other emotions, because I know I myself, like I said, I was feeling kind of light. However, I could feel everybody else's emotions and everything like that. So fast forward to my mom's wake. I was there, and my cousin was sitting beside me, and he was sitting there beside me while everybody was coming in and out to view my mom's body, and stuff like that. And I was sitting there, and I was listening to Janae, Everything Happens for a Reason. I was listening to that song on repeat. I don't know if my cousin got tired of it. However, that song was very soothing for me. It was also a favorite song of my mom's, and I was just moved to play that song in that moment. So after everybody had came in to view the body and everything, I hadn't myself viewed my mom's body. I just really came into the room and sat in that chair, and I stayed in that chair the whole time and watched people come in and out and view her body. So after everybody was done, like, viewing her body, or I guess the crowd kind of had to kind of trickle down, I would say. I went up to my mom's casket, and I remember reaching out and touching my mom's body and snatching back so quick and so hard. And the reason I did that is because I was having an experience in that moment where I felt my mom. I felt her presence. Like I said, I woke up the Wednesday morning that she passed, and I felt light, but I didn't feel anything different. I didn't know why that was. But when I touched my mom's body, I immediately knew why things felt normal, because I did not feel any absence of my mom. It felt so intensely like her energy was still there. But when I touched her body, she was not there. So immediately that caught me by surprise. That caught me off guard. That spun me into a lot of different thoughts, because based on my Baptist Christian belief, I had been taught to believe something opposite to what I was experiencing in that moment. And a bunch of questions just unloaded in my mind. And particularly, how can this be? That was one thing. Like, how can I feel my mom so intensely, like she is standing here beside me, and yet her body is here in front of me, and she is not in that body? And that right there was the awakening point, the point where I am now conscious of this journey that I'm on, and now I'm asking the right questions, and I'm going on this journey, and I'm beginning to think about death, and to think about what happens after death, and to think about, if my mom is not here, then where is she? And perhaps she is here, but how is she here? Because she's not in her body. And I was experiencing an extreme amount of cognitive dissonance for several reasons. The first reasons I will say is that I never accepted death in the way that other people accepted it. When family members would pass, when I in my family when I was young, I didn't cry. I didn't understand the attachment to that loss. You know, I am a very detached, kind of aloof person for the most part. And in order for me to develop attachments, I usually have to develop this deep, intimate relationship with the person, which doesn't happen often because it takes a while to get to know me and who I am, and for me to get to know people. So for a long time in my life, you know, people would pass and there would be no tears. There would be no sadness for me, because I just didn't have that understanding of death. I didn't cry at funerals. When I was young, I would often wonder why people were crying. But as I got older, I understood why they were crying in my mind. However, I still never had those attachments. But when my mom passed, it was very, very, very much different because I did hold that attachment. And I did come in that time to understand why people cried and grieved so hard in the different ways that they grieve, because it is a tremendous physical loss. However, it was not that big of a loss for me, I would say, because I just still felt her presence so deeply, and I held on to that and I followed that, and it led me on my spiritual journey and to so many magnificent places, and to meeting so many magnificent people meeting so many magnificent people, and just brought me to this space of living my truth. And for that, I am grateful. And that is how I happened upon this journey of awakening. And what that meant for my journey is that now, like I said, I could ask the right questions. I could look at this more closely and examine it and learn the truth for myself. This was just one of those big bang moments that made me see more clearly that there was something else I needed to be doing, because in the wake of my mom's death, in her passing, in her ascension, there was just so much that I was just like, none of this shit matters in the grand scheme of that. My mom may not be here tomorrow or the next day or for the birth of my son, etc., etc. You know, so much stuff just fell away. And I could see more deeply. I could see more clearly. I could see further. And a lot of my spiritual gifts began to awaken at that point. And that was and has been such a magical experience. So, as y'all know, get into the business. My birthday is in about 9 or 10 days. I don't know. I haven't been counting. I just know it's coming. It's next Sunday. And I want to be a death doula. I just decided that recently, in thinking about my journey and the culmination of my journey and where all of this has led me in my understanding of death, and that I don't believe that I was taught the proper way to receive death. And I want to be a person that can guide others on this journey, because I know it very, very intimately, and I know it well, and I know that I still have a lot to learn. And for my birthday, you know, people do charities, so you can donate to charities and things like that. However, I would like for you all to support me in getting my death doula certification. I have started a GoFundMe to tell y'all more about death doulaship, to introduce y'all to the program that I want to take, how much it costs, and how much money I'm raising, because I want to have this program done by summer 2020, because the program is a few weeks long. I want to thank you in advance for everyone who decides to contribute to me taking this death doulaship certification, because it is something I'm deeply looking forward to. Yes, so yeah, the link is in the description, yeah, it's in the description. You'll find the link. It's somewhere around this video, depending on where the video is posted, because I really hadn't decided that yet. I just wanted to say that, because they say ask and you shall receive, and if I do not receive, it's not because I didn't ask. So like I said, thanks in advance for your donation. I'm looking forward to becoming a death doula and guiding others through the complicated and confusion of death, as many of us have been taught to receive it. I assure you, it is not a time of sadness at all. It is okay to mourn the loss, but the way I chose to mourn the loss of my mom is by celebrating her life, by dedicating every good thing and great thing that I was moving towards to her. A lot of people look at my movements in life, and somebody called me a gypsy yesterday because I do move around a lot, and that is because when something is not aligning with my truth, I gotta go. I can't stay, no matter what other people think. And I do that for myself, and also for my mom. I do that for her because it's important to me. That is important to me. And I feel like that's important for her, for me to live my truth, because in a lot of ways I witnessed that she felt she could not do that, and I can. I have the liberty to do that. I know how to attract the things I need to do that, and I am thankful for the people whom I have attracted into my life, that have been very instrumental in my journey, who have supported me in my journey, no matter how crazy it looked. Okay. And like I said, thank y'all for y'all donations. I appreciate it. I don't want this video to go on and on and on. I love y'all. Y'all have a great day. And summer 2020, I will introduce y'all to the new death doula, Victoria. Okay. That's it. Bye, y'all. I'm good.